So, little introduction to me. I'm Rupa. I am 56 years old. I've been married for nearly 30 years, actually 30 years this year. I work in a corporate world. I've been in a corporate world for the last 30 plus years since leaving university, degree in science subjects, been in a commercial roles all my life. I found one of many, actually November 2019, the only time one of many did a conference, one-day conference in Manchester. I live in the West Midlands, and I decided to take a day off in November out of a very busy schedule. I work in a very high intensity corporate world, and it was just a Friday. And I thought, I'm taking it's near Christmas. I'll pop into Manchester. And out of the blue on Facebook, this ad came up. And it was something like, are you looking for clarity, a career, or retiring your Superwoman, or something like that? And it caught my eye. And I canceled my shopping plan and booked this workshop for one day. And I met one of many in 2019 November at this one-day workshop where Joanna did her usual magic, the way she does. She presented this. And that was my first connection. I had never heard of one of many before that day. Just out of the blue, I got this ad on Facebook. And, magic of logarithm, I guess. Yeah. And then from there on, I think then COVID happened. I think then I sort of stayed in touch. I joined the community. It was quite exciting. I sort of watched on that workshop. It was almost at the right time because I was right in the midst of a busy career, working in sales and marketing, global role, jetting everywhere. And that retiring your Superwoman was almost very much poking at me, telling me, right? And it was like, oh God, am I in my Superwoman mode? And then like I said, I stayed in touch with one of many. I made more connections. And thereon, then I think I must have attended maybe B Wealth. I think one of the B Wealth was in Stratford. I did join one of many conference, I think I signed up for conference for March 2020. Now I remember COVID happened. And then the rest, as they say, is history. And I've stayed in touch with one of many, through that time. I was at the peak of my coming to a very senior level, senior director roles. I was managing at that point, multi-million-dollar budgets, and I'm working for a very large corporation in the life sciences industry. I think unconsciously in the back of my mind, it was always, what's next type thing. And it was like, okay, and coaching and mentoring was something that I was doing at part of my job as a manager, as a leader, as a people leader. You go through your corporate training, then you sort of drop into those roles, right? As a manager. I wasn't really at that point this self-care, self-development type was it. I guess meeting Joanna and one of many gave a completely different meaning to what that self-care and looking at you from a different angle, rather than I was in this corporate world, high flyer, achieving good things. And I was calling that as a self-development because I was moving from one role to another. But after attending that workshop, it really gave me completely a different, I am not taking care of me. And also from personally, family perspective as well, I'm the eldest out of 3 siblings. I'm the eldest out of 3 daughters, the eldest sister trying to, always do the right thing and setting the example for everybody and all that, and it was just a really I remember back on the train from Manchester, coming back home. I'm only 40 minutes from Manchester, but that 40-minute journey back, looking at my notebook and reading the notes and going, it was like an epiphany moment. Sort of, I've got to look after me. And then that's where the whole sort of that my journey started, right? So that was a big sort of thing for me. And it was like, yes, I am in a superwoman mode. I am in a superwoman. The health was sort of not in the right place. I was going through perimenopause as well at that point, right? Obviously, and now looking back, I can sort of really put all those things together to say where I was at that point, right? Uh, so yeah, so it just gave me I started to reflect on me and everything around me in a completely different way. To think, okay, what is next? When did I decided to join the coaching cert? So 2019 was my journey started. And at that day, it was like, oh my God, do I want to do this? And then, okay, I'll go for one women conference. Went to, then obviously the COVID happened. And during the COVID, I attended all those online events that were being offered, the Clarity in Career. There were a number of other ones. I did Be Powerful. I actually won Be Powerful in Manchester. There was a prize draw. So I sort of had the Be Powerful. I did that on my own. And then obviously COVID happened. So I've been looking to really seriously think about doing a coaching cert for a while. But life happens. I changed jobs. I became a senior director for another global organization, a truly global role, which meant a lot of travel. And, you know, again, that self-reflection is there, but finding the time. And then in 2024, so I did I'm on cohort 11. So I guess in 2024, when I sort of one day again, sitting and thinking, I need to bite the bullet. For me, it was always finding the time. It's just like, okay, when is this going to be right time? Because I'm still working in a full-time role, but eventually there is a vision to do something with my 25, 30 years of lived experience in the corporate world, especially within the STEM sector. Is how do I take that? And it was like 2024 was like, I literally sitting here and it was like, do it. And I remember signing up, and then yeah, so I joined the cohort 11, and so yeah, this journey been on for the last many months now. A coaching certification has been it's a big task. Biggest thing for me has been making that time for self-development, because that was it. It's for me. I'm doing this for me. And really finding that time to sit down and think of me again, like I was saying. The biggest thing for me in the coaching set, first, the biggest one for me is meeting other women, like-minded women, the community. So biggest thing for me, one of many, is the community. So the previous community that I was, as I was part of, the bigger community, but this one has become a bit more like that's cohort 11. We are together. We are all going through the same journey and supporting each other. It's been amazing. They're friends for life now, right? That's been the one. The second is for me is I can see. So the reason I wanted to do the coaching cert is I want to eventually start a coaching program for women in STEM, especially the young girls who are coming, especially from diverse backgrounds. I see still in 30 years of the corporate world, sometimes I tick all the diversity boxes. I am the only woman in the meeting room, and I'm the only woman of color. And there's so many young and upcoming women that I see in the industry, but they never really get past that middle management, or even some never even make to the middle management. And it's like, so how can I really support? So it's one of that vision to really build that next generation of leaders, women leaders from diverse backgrounds. So the biggest for me is the amazing tools that come with the coaching set. One is the community. I've learned so much from the women and learning and training. And secondly is the amazing tools, the way they bring everything together. And that, and of course the guidance that we get from all the other coaches that within the program for me. That's been and it's been really good for me to also reflect that I can do this, right? There's always been I say I'm a really confident person. I can stand in front of a room full of 500 people and talk on my subjects that I know. But when it came to sort of anything coaching and mentoring, there's that imposter syndrome comes in. I said, am I good enough? And what one of many has shown this being in this coaching cert is yes, you can do this. You can do this. So that's been a great for me. Our types really, really, I remember first time buying the set of cards in Manchester that day, and I've held that cards since then. To me, they are for any woman. It doesn't. I personally have not thought them through a lens of color. To me, it's a woman, and anything. I mean, the Queen Power type. She's an amazing woman of color, and it's so powerful that picture. They've resonated me as a woman, and I've been using them in my coaching with prep clients, and I do have one or two clients who are women of color, and I've not felt any difference. I'm still working in a corporate world, so my plan or my vision is, first of all, is I am I run a little platform, a networking platform called Leaders for Leaders. And the idea is to build on that. And then the vision with that is to bring women from within the life sciences industry where I work in, within that specific, within STEM. But STEM's really wide, but I'm sort of creating a niche within the life sciences industry because that's my lived experience. That's where I really can add value and bring my skills and become and this Leaders for Leaders is going to be like a coaching and mentoring platform, and starting from schools all the way to corporate organizations, going into schools and encouraging more girls to take science subjects, and then going into corporations and delivering talks and workshops to encourage that young talent pool who probably is feeling blocked or doesn't feel encouraged or empowered, especially women from diverse backgrounds, and bringing more women like me into my network and say, come on, come together on this journey with me and let's aim. So once I become qualified coach, is to have that as my sort of a new platform, Leaders for Leaders, which is to really build that talent pool of the next generation of women leaders within the life sciences, within STEM, from diverse backgrounds. That's my key theme. At the moment, obviously, I'm still in a corporate world. I'm continuing to work there. Eventually, will that become my full-time job, or will it stay as a high side hustle? Time will tell. But I'm really excited to making that more an official platform in the coming months. I've been sort of, using unofficially, sort of not qualified coach, but I've been sort of indirectly use the power types with some of my teams. And when we're talking, sort of say to them, right, the coaching and mentoring. But now that I'm doing the more the coaching training, that has really helped me to, coach and mentor my team in a different way as well. So always been a great help. Obviously, I'm not able to use any of the tools till I become qualified, but for till now, I am sort of absolutely softly introducing them, the way I'm questioning, way I'm positioning, and I use that a lot in my current job for sure. And you're thinking of going into coaching and mentoring and developing that professional set of skills, and you really want to make a change, first of all, is the community is amazing. So that's the first. The second, the set of tools. It does require the coaching set requires a lot of time and a lot of, especially if you're a working corporate woman and you've got a busy life, or you could be not a corporate world, but otherwise you have a busy life either way. This is a really good course for sure. It's an amazing set of tools, but you need commitment. You need to commit to the time and the effort and the hours it requires. But the end is fruitful, right? If you can survive the end, then absolutely. I would say talk to another one of many coaching, coaching coach, sorry, who have done this. Have a conversation with them because you can learn a lot. Definitely, it's yeah. I'm glad that I joined one of many coaching, so very much so.